Everyone, this is me and Hosa, and today we are going to cook a special food. I don't know, called food. Special food from the US, and it's pancake. Okay, so let's get started.
So today we're going to make pancakes, which is a type of food that people in the U.S. traditionally eat, mostly on weekends, because they're not hard to make, but it takes a little bit of time to make them. So my family always eats pancakes on Sundays, Sunday mornings for breakfast, and you can add in whatever fruits you'd like. You can just have plain pancakes. Sometimes people put chocolate in them. Today we'll be making banana pancakes with nuts too. So let's get started. Okay, so first we'll talk about the different measurements that we're going to use today. So here we have a cup, which is almost a full just mug here. It goes, when we pour water from the cup, the measuring unit, into the actual cup, the water is about here. So if you don't have a measuring cup, that's okay. It's about a full cup. We have a tablespoon, which is the size of a large spoon. And we have a teaspoon, which is the size of a small spoon, like you might use for tea or coffee to mix your sugar in. So these are the different measuring instruments that we will use today.
Okay.
A cup, a teaspoon, and a tablespoon. Okay. So for this recipe, we will need 2 cups of flour. We will need 2 teaspoons of baking soda. I can show you the baking soda. The baking soda, right? We will need a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. A 1/4 teaspoon of salt. We will need 1 tablespoon of sugar, although you can add honey, or you don't have to add sugar if you don't want to. We will need 2 eggs. 2 eggs. We will need 1.5 cups of milk. Yum. And then we will need 2 tablespoons of melted butter. So we're going to warm up the butter, melt the butter, and we'll need 2 tablespoons. And finally, because this is the fun version, you could stop there and just have plain but delicious pancakes. But we're going to make banana nut pancakes today. So have your bananas and nuts too, any kind of nuts. These are cashews, but walnuts are really good, or peanuts. Here, in Portuguese, castanha caju. And then we'll cut up the bananas. All right. So first, what we're going to do is mix together the dry ingredients. So here we have our cup of flour. So we're going to put in 2 cups of flour. So 1 cup, and then 2 cups. So 2 cups of flour. We'll add in our baking soda. So we want cinnamon. Is good. Let's see. Oh, cinnamon is very good. We can add in cinnamon too. 2 teaspoons, so the smaller one. Here's our teaspoon. 2 teaspoons of baking soda. So 1, 2. A 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So here's our salt.
If you need cinnamon, I have it
cinnamon
here
too, which is so good. So 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then finally 1 tablespoon of sugar. But I think the bananas are already very sweet, so I'm going to add in a little bit less. So here's the tablespoon of sugar. But I won't put in a full tablespoon. I'll just put in that much. A little bit of sugar. That's good. So those are our dry ingredients. Oh, because we're using cinnamon, we can also add in cinnamon now. That's a dry ingredient, it's not wet. So let's add in, sorry, I'll get out the teaspoon. Let's add in 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, about a teaspoon. Yum, okay. And now we're just going to mix these up. You can use a spoon to mix together the dry ingredients. All right, so once that is good and mixed, especially the baking soda, it's important for the chemistry of the pancakes that the baking soda is mixed in. Once we do that, we can move on to our wet ingredients. Okay, so we are gonna add in our 2 eggs. And I've always seen my mom do this. I like to put them in the middle here, and then we'll mix them up together at the end. So here's, 1 egg. Then we need 1 more, our recipe calls for, or which means like says to put in 2 eggs. Okay, and then 1.5 cups of milk. So here's our milk. And you can always make fewer pancakes. So this is a big batch for a whole family. It's gonna make a lot of pancakes. Okay, 1.5 cups of milk. And then finally we are gonna warm up our butter. We have to melt the butter. So in the microwave or on the stove.
I think let's do it in the microwave.
In the microwave. So we're going to use our, right, it was tablespoons. I will double check.
Yeah, I think so.
2 tablespoons of melted butter. So here's our butter. It's like 1. I never measure exactly. I probably should, but that's okay. So 2 tablespoons of melted butter. And we'll use this one to get it out. Thank you, Mike. Butter.
Okay, now you help me.
Butter. So I'm from the south of the country, and we eat so much butter in the south of the country. Tika, who you met in the other video, she's from the north, where they tend to be a little healthier with their traditional cooking, and they probably eat a lot less butter. So we're gonna wait for the butter to warm up. It should be ready in just a second. In a few seconds. That's an expression. Ready in just a second. Doesn't literally mean 1 second.
I hope this is enough.
That's perfect.
Okay.
Yep. And then we are going to add the butter into our mixture. Yum, butter. Clog those arteries. Just kidding. And then this is a fancy cooking tool that my Lind has. It's called a whisk. So you could just use a regular spoon, let's see, or a fork.
It's in the butter.
Oh, it's in the butter.
Oh, that's a big small one.
You could just use a regular fork or a spoon, but the whisk will make these pancakes extra light and fluffy, which in the U.S. is considered the best delicious pancakes. So I'm mixing up the eggs first, and now I'm going to mix it all together. And it's okay if you have lumps in your pancakes. It doesn't have to be perfect. And we are mixing all of this together in a large bowl. And the goal is to just make sure that the dry ingredients combine with the wet ingredients. And if you feel like your pancake batter, this is called the batter, before it's cooked, it's called the batter. If it's too dry, I can show you what it should look like in a minute. You can always add more milk. It's the easy fix.
Is that what we'll be doing?
You can stop it.
Okay. And then you don't want to eat a huge nut in a pancake. So we are going to chop these nuts. we are chopping the nuts.
To chop.
One thing that I always do before cooking the pancakes is I like to slice the banana too in its peel. So we'll just slice it so that it's ready to put in the pancakes. You'll see in a minute, it's kind of a fast action putting the pancakes onto the griddle. So now we will turn on the stove to about medium heat, and we'll put our pan on the stove. And then we'll use a little bit of butter because, like I said, I'm from the South. We always cook with a lot of butter. You can use oil or whatever. And we'll put it down on the pan, probably more than that, so that our pancakes do not stick to the pan. We're going to need a little bit more butter. Okay. Let's see. And the way that you can tell that your pan is ready, is heated up enough, is that you get a little bit of water, and when you take the water on your fingers and you sprinkle it onto the pan, you'll hear a sizzle. We'll show you in just a minute. Our pan is not ready yet. So we chopped our nuts, and we're going to add them to the pancake batter and stir it together. Okay, so our pan is ready because I have a little bit of water on my hands and it sizzles. You don't want it to be too hot because then you'll burn your pancakes. So if the butter starts turning brown, you know it's too hot. You can turn it down. So now we're going to take our pancake mix, our pancake batter, and scoop a big spoonful onto the middle of the pan.
Okay.
And then we will take our banana. Take your banana and put it down. I've seen people put banana directly into the batter, but I like to put the bananas in nicely like this. I like a lot of bananas. And then what I do is I take a little spoon or a knife and then just cover the bananas with pancake batter so that they don't burn.
Fancy.
And they're nice and warm inside the pancake. So you know that your pancake is ready to flip once you can see little bubbles forming and it starts to cook on the edges. So we're going to take the spatula and we're going to flip the pancake, which is the most fun part.
Yay!
Yay! Alright, so our pancake is almost ready, but we want to make sure that it has cooked all the way through. So I just take a knife and open it up, and look, it's cooked all the way through. So our pancake is ready to then put on a plate. So here's our plate. And
Voila!
voila! And you can always put stuff on top. In the US, we often put maple syrup, which is a sugary syrup that comes from the maple tree. Like you see on the flag of Canada, there's the maple leaf. It's from that same tree. We put butter too, or powdered sugar is also delicious, or maybe even more fruit. Peanut butter is good with bananas. It's whatever you like. So let's eat. Here we have our stack of pancakes. You can stack them up, and Myland is going to try one.
Okay. And
Would you like maple syrup? Okay.
maple syrup, everyone.
Yum.
By the way, I don't know, but I think this is very difficult to find in Indonesia. So, what can you put on top of it other than maple syrup?
I really like yogurt. I think yogurt is really good. Yogurt on top. But that's a personal preference. Most people don't do that.
No.
Maybe peanut butter. I don't know if that is that common. No.
Peanut butter, yes.
Peanut butter is really good with banana pancakes like we have today.
Coconut oil.
Coconut oil or shredded coconut is really good on top with butter. Or my sister mixes butter with confectioner sugar, which is the light white sugar. She'll mix that up and then spread it on top. Or jelly, really whatever you think tastes good. So, let's see.
Okay.
Bon appetici.
Let's see.
Wow, so fluffy.
Let me see the banana. I think it worked.
Yay! American pancakes.
American pancakes, yes. This is delicious, so you should try at home. You have all the ingredients. It's easy to find it in Indonesia, so there will be no excuse not to do it. Oke, jadi bahan-bahannya mudah dan gampang didapat di Indonesia. Maple syrupnya bisa diganti dengan yogurt, coconut oil,
Butter.
Minyak kelapa. What else? I forgot.
Powdered sugar
Butter's common.
or jelly.
Mentega atau jelly juga, and one more, peanut butter. Saya lupa apa bahasa Indonesianya peanut butter. It's selai kacang. Okay, so I hope you like the video today. We'll see you at the next post. Bye bye.